viewers, welcome to another episode of Tech Talk with Toy Ifese. And today I have with me Izzy Boye. Izzy Boye is a digital content creator and is going to give us a lowdown of how he has become successful in this field. Welcome, Boye.
That's fine.
So let's meet you. Who is Boye? Who is Izzy Boye?
Okay. Like you said, Izzy is a digital content creator.
Okay.
I'm from Delta State,
Okay.
currently based in Lagos, and I have been creating content since 2019.
2019, that's far back, even before COVID. Because I know a lot of people during COVID was when they started having a lot of inspirations. But yeah, listen.
Yeah. I schooled in Delta State University, Abraka, also born and brought up in Delta State. Graduated in 2014. So NYSC 2016, content creation 2019, and here we are.
Okay, so you see, you make it sound so magical. Content creation 2019, and here we are. You have over 125,000 thereabout followers, right?
Um, one 140 something
140
thereabouts
something
on
thousand.
YouTube. Instagram 178.
178,000. That's
TikTok.
good followers.
TikTok 366.
Imagine, and you're making it sound like, okay, so you're going to really give us the secret of quite a number of the things you do. As a digital creator, where did it all start from? Why did you decide to always come to the social space to talk about content around, the new devices, mobile devices, and the likes?
Let's just say a month before I started, I was not, in fact, I didn't know I was going to be doing that. What I had in mind was something different. I was planning to go into writing, create a website, visit different places, write about these places so people will know about them. But then in the process of this, I know I was going to need a phone that I'll be able to take pictures of these places, make videos about these places. So I started researching the phone I wanted to buy. I was always up to date with phones. I've always been that tech guy, a go-to guy when you want to buy a new phone, a new laptop, have a problem with your phone as far as it's software related, I was the one you contact. So in the process of searching, I've always watched foreign creators make videos about these things. And then I realized, how about making these things for the Nigerian audience? And I searched and I realized that there were already some people making this for the Nigerian audience. But I felt like, I could be able to join them. There were very few then too. Well, still very few, but yeah, I was able to join them. I said, let me start. I saw them and I was motivated. Okay, this is what comes natural to me. For someone that wants to write about places, it takes more time to write because I have to think about these things, plan these things. But then there's already foundational knowledge about gadgets for me. As I see a gadget, there's already some sort of foundational knowledge about it. So before I get to know how it works, the in and outs, and make content about it. So that was when I decided, let me, instead of write about places, go to different places, stay in one place, get devices and review them. So I started with the phone I was buying at the time. And that's how I got to the
That makes
content.
sense. So for me, what I see is someone who has passion already about gadgets. You have flair, you have interest in gadget, and it was so easy for you to start up, something around that area. That's cool. That's cool. So but I know that having those followers, you didn't just have them in one day.
That's all.
So how did you carve this niche for yourself that you were able to grow your followers?
Like I said, it started off as, let's see if I can do it. And then
Okay.
I started doing it. And then it was a target of how many views can I get? If I can get 100 views in a week, I'm satisfied for that week. And then the goal started increasing and
So,
increasing.
so when you say if you could get 100 views, were you doing something to get the 100 views? Because really, if you post something, you can't just get the 100 views.
Yeah. So when I was starting, I started off with knowing that my first audience was going to be people that know me. And then people that know me already knew that, if Izzy comes out and says he wants to talk about phones, we already know that he knows about phones. So I just had to we use WhatsApp, put on my WhatsApp status, this is what I want to start doing. I put out the first video. While I put it on YouTube as a starting point, I went to my WhatsApp stories, put it up there so that my contacts on
your
WhatsApp could
contacts,
see
right?
it.
Yeah, true.
So they were like my first audience, and they would watch, and some would give feedback. And then step by step, just post this video, plan the next one. Post this one, plan the next one. And didn't focus on the fact that I was not getting views. Right now, if I post a video and in 10 minutes I don't have 100 views yet, I see it as a failed video. But back then, if I post a video and in 1 week I get 100 views, it's a success. Because then
Wait, before you get in, you talked about you started with a few people that knows you.
Yeah.
They know you already. I was listening to a digital creator, and she was saying something about if you want to if you want to be a digital creator, or you want to start something about an initiative, you should try as much as possible to filter your own people, your maybe family members, relations, people that know you, so that they don't come and use their own bad egg, so but I can see you are talking about starting from the people that knows you.
Yeah, because when I wanted to start, I think I started, okay, let me pick up, these are the tools that I need to start, the easiest one that I can get. I don't have so much money to invest into it yet. And I bought the first set of tools and I uploaded it on my WhatsApp status. And there was someone that saw it and knew exactly what I was going to do with it. And like in a sarcastic tone, like, you want to do YouTube in Nigeria, like they don't believe it's possible, or like I can succeed. And I like, okay, watch me try. That was my response. And that was the only person that kind of, but every other person, when I put it out there, they just, let's go and check what this guy is trying to do. And there were not people that like discouraged me, like,
Yeah,
this,
encouraged
you are
you,
wasting
had
your
good people.
time.
Okay.
So they will support, they will leave comments and all that.
That's cool.
So like there were not much. So maybe
You
the
have
first,
observers, those that will just
yeah,
observe and say, what is he even doing?
yeah,
What
there
is
were
your
people like that,
passerby?
but not the ones that like would tell me you are wasting your time or any of those
Okay.
things. And plus, when I started it, I wasn't really looking at whether I was going to be discouraged or not. I was looking at how far can I go.
You were focused. You
Yeah.
were focused. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so now I'm sure a lot of people want to know, how do you sponsor or make money from the gadget reviewing?
Okay, so for a start, like I said, when I started, I wanted to see how far I can go. And so when you want to see how far you can go, you are not looking at whether you are making money at the start, right? You just want to keep doing it, and you are interested in growing the numbers. It will take time. You need to build an audience before you can now start making from it. Making money from it. Because when you build an audience, say if you're using a platform like YouTube, for example, they have monetization requirements. You have to reach a certain number of subscribers.
Yeah,
People have to
before you
have
can
watched your
monetize.
content for a certain amount of time,
4,000.
4,000 watch hours in a period
hours.
of 1 year.
Yeah.
So that might take you a year to get, might take you 3 years to get. So until you reach there. But then as you reach there and start growing the audience, other brands start seeing you. That's when they see you and like, okay, this guy has an audience that we want to target. And they'll probably reach out and want to sponsor one or two of your content. So aside the YouTube AdSense that you're generating, some brands might sponsor some videos that you are making.
Aside from the YouTube and AdSense that you're generating.
Yeah.
So far, how many brands have actually said, "Oh, Izzy Boye, let's sponsor you"? I see quite a number of. I see Techno Reviews, Infinite, right?
Infinix,
Yeah, Infinix, and some other. I'd also seen times when you are traveled to different places. This money does not. Then I see you just changing gadgets. Today you bring the latest. Biko, tell us now.
So it's all about like getting money to get these gadgets. Like I said, it takes time, but then it's kind of investing. Maybe a brand sponsors you today and say, take so and so amount, tell your people about this. When you get the money, it's not as if, it's party time, right? There's a new phone that is coming that people want to hear about. It's not all brands that wants to give you those devices, but then you're making the content for your audience, not for the brands. It's primarily your audience. So you're always looking forward to, okay, so and so phone is coming in so and so time. This money that I have now, I have to keep it for that time. And with the way things are getting expensive, you buy it. So as you're getting the money, you're putting it back in, and then you are still growing the audience, and the brands are coming.
With this dollar, is how do you get to sponsor this travel ticket, travel to different countries
Okay, so
in this dollar rates and the time that we are in Nigeria?
funny story. I had never left the country as at
Uh-uh.
last year. The first time I left the
Okay.
country was last year.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I went to Spain. I also went to Kenya, and I went to Italy. I went to 3 countries last year.
Wow.
They were all sponsored. All right.
Wow.
So it was like when you've grown your audience to that point, and the brand sees that okay, this is the person that will be able to do this particular job for us, and they reach out to you, and then so this year too. Originally, I was going based on I saved money, right? I had this goal of we people already see us Nigerian creators as they are not big creators in Africa, right?
Yeah.
So your audience is based in Nigeria, typical Nigerian audience. So I'm trying to grow more of an international audience.
Yeah.
So you save some money, invest it back into growing your content, improving your content. So if your content is specifically based on maybe just one area, the international audience that are trying to build, you might not really get there. But yeah, there was also sponsor for that too. The one I went, was it 2-3 weeks ago? Yeah. So,
Please, when next you are going, I'll give you I have passport. I have the Nigerian passport. We can, don't worry, we can go together. Just tell me and I'll be there for you.
so whether or not there is a sponsor, right? It can be a target you set for yourself. Okay, you are into tech content creation, and there are global tech events that happen. You are trying to reach a global audience.
Yeah.
When you don't have a sponsor yet, you can decide that, oh, let me save an amount of money for the next 2-3 years. I want to be there. You plan towards it when the time reaches. Even if there's no sponsor yet, when you get there, the sponsor will come because you are able to get there. Because as a Nigerian, it's not easy to get passports. It's not easy to get visa to other countries.
It's easy to get passports.
It is now easy to get passports. It was not easy to get passports.
Let's talk about the present now. It is easy to get your passport. It is that visa.
Exactly.
Because they feel that you want to Japa.
Exactly. So some brands might even say, okay, let's sponsor you, and then by the time they try the whole process, you're not given a visa. You're not going anywhere.
Wow.
I think last year I was even supposed to go to South Africa. No, it wasn't last year. 2 years ago, I was supposed to go to South Africa. I did not get a visa.
Wow.
I was supposed to go to Malaysia.
Did you get the visa?
I did not. I did not even apply. I didn't even apply. When I saw the requirements and the time frame, I was like, okay, see my past experience, no need. Right? But it was the brand that reached out and we are going to sponsor you. When I looked at it, all the requirements and looked at the time, it was not possible. But then if I had maybe gone before and I've done it once, when the brand comes next time, I'll be like, okay, that's possible. There have been brands that have reached out that, oh, we have something that I want to do in London. Do you have a visa that can take you to London between this period? And I'm like, oh, there's not enough time. I don't have it. So these are things that you want to have if you are trying to reach a more international audience. So you save towards it. If the brands don't come and send you there, send yourself there. After the brands see that you have made it there, they'll probably reach out and sponsor you and take care of your expenses.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the challenges you faced over time. What are the challenges? Off my head, it could have been maybe how to generate your content. But I know there's ChatGPT. Let's leave out ChatGPT. You can't even. Yeah, I know now. With Izzy Boye, you cannot use. But then I get. So what are the challenges?
Okay, so the challenge is, let's go from a smaller scale. All right, as a start, if you're a content creator, your first challenge will probably be, what are you making content about? So if I'm saying I'm a tech content creator, right? Okay, I'm making content about tech. How am I going to get this tech? That's the first challenge. So I think you mentioned in this dollar economy how I'm getting. When I started, I had 120,000 naira and I bought 3 phones to start to make videos about.
When was that? 2019?
Yeah, 2019 September. There was a Samsung phone, an Infinix phone, a Techno phone. I bought those 3 phones to start.
120,000.
Yeah, then dollar was like 350. So each phone was like 35,000, 40,000. So, but now 120,000 will not be able to get you the quality of those phones then, right?
Did you say even the regular Nokia, that small one? Are you sure 120?
That's like the major challenge. It's now very difficult
I guess.
Getting phones right. We are not earning in dollars in Nigeria. It's naira, so you're kind of, as you are saving to get it, by the time you are ready, the price has gone up, or the value your funds have dropped value. You have to save more. So that's like, finance is a challenge for mostly every creator. And then there is the issue of, while all of them can be solved with enough funds. There's the issue of electricity. There's the issue of, okay, when you complain that, oh, I'm making content and a particular light, somebody will be like, go and do inverter, go and do solar. That's one solution, but that's not a permanent solution. You have to be very rich, be living in your own place where you don't have neighbors for you to do solar and still not have the problem with electricity, because if I do solar and do inverter for myself, when my neighbor does not have light, they will use their generator. It is going to still disturb me.
And then if you have to also, if you don't want to do, if you want to avoid the noise pollution, you have to soundproof. And soundproofing is not cheap. Yeah, I get it. I do understand.
And then when you want to soundproof, you kind of... I'm someone that has lived in maybe probably 4 different places in the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So I don't stay one place very long. And then soundproofing is not something that you can take from here and move to the next place. No. You demolish and you start all over again.
But you can get gadgets that are noise cancellation.
But then they're expensive, even more expensive than the phones you're buying.
Yeah, true.
Like you kind of have to keep putting money into it, so that like those are some of the challenges. And then there's also the challenge of recognition, right? You have to work so hard, get to a certain number. Even as I am at this level now, there are brands that will reach out and be like, oh, because you are in Nigeria, we can't do this, or because you are from Nigeria. You might see my numbers as they are big. There was something someone said when I traveled that even gave me a new goal.
You're getting there. You get to over millions, so you're getting
there. It gave me a new goal, and they were like, okay, you guys are local media, right? There are people that have millions of subscribers that will treat better. So my new goal was, okay, give me 2 or 3 years. Let me see if I can reach 1 million minimum on each of my platforms, right? So there is that challenge. There is the challenge of, I'm trying to reach out to brands to help me with devices or sponsorship, and they are not responding, or the responses I'm getting are discouraging. And then there's the challenge of the audience that you're trying to make the content for, right? You make content about this brand today, the opposing brand fans will come and say, oh, you are paid by this brand. You make about their brand, another one will come and say you are paid. Like, you're biased towards so and so brand, in as much as you're trying to make the content for them.
You're just being very fair with your content, right?
You try to be, what you will never satisfy every of your audience.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So let's talk about, has there been any time where, yes, you've talked about your challenges, but has there been any time where you just feel like, oh, let's just let it all go. Let me forget about this whole idea and just look into something else. Just let's forget about the digital content creator whole idea around that. So has there been any time like that?
Not really.
A time where you were discouraged and you just feel like that's all, that's the end.
It's I think every creator goes through a phase where they call it creative block, and like sometimes it can happen on a small scale, other times it can be very big, where you see like there's a huge break in content, like someone that posts content every day before starts posting maybe once a week. Before you know it, 1 month, 2 months, you're not seeing content for them. Maybe there's a word for it, but they are stressed out, and then
depressed, kind of.
It could be, but I've not really gotten to that point where I feel like I don't want to do it anymore. What I might end up getting to is, after some time, I feel like, okay, burnout, I think that's the word, burnout. Okay, okay, for the next couple of weeks, I'm not motivated to make content, and I just relax, doing nothing basically, either playing games, not being productive. But eventually kind of bounce back. So it has never been to the point where I feel like, okay, I want to stop content creation. I don't see ahead me stopping content creation right now. I don't see it ahead.
That's burning passion. Okay, that's cool. So what advice would you give those who are aspiring to become a digital creator?
It's the popular advice, which some people might not even understand, but it's always just start, right? Although, as long as you know what you want to do, right? Like, I want to make content, this is what I want to make content about. Start. Don't think that I have to buy this, I have to buy that. When you buy it, you will not start. You will be looking to buy the next one before you start. So,
start where you are.
Start where you are. If it's a phone that you have that has a camera, use that. If you feel, okay, the phone does not have a camera, it has a microphone, right? There are people that are making content, faceless content on the internet, and they are making money from it. So you're able to talk about tech, for example. Talk about tech. You don't have to show your face. Look for stock footage from the internet. Whatever you're talking about, look for images about it and put them in a slide. Do voiceover and talk about it, right? maybe that's not what your goal is initially, but at least it allows you to start building an audience from the scratch. Because when the brands will come later on, it's for that audience. It's not that your quality is so good, HD quality.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the best quality, the most expensive equipment, but you have 200 followers, the brands are not interested. But you can have a poor quality and then you have 100,000 followers, you have engagement, the brands want that audience.
Yeah.
It's,
Get
it's,
the
it's,
engagement.
yeah, it's later on the brand might say, okay, this content I want from you, we want you to shoot it in this particular quality. But by the time you get to that stage, you're probably making enough money to invest into it to buy the equipment that would improve the quality of your content. So people are coming first for the content, then before we now talk about how clear the video is, how good the sound is, and all that.
Okay. So let's what about the skills that they should have? Who have those aspiring to start as a digital creator? What are the skills? When I say skills, are there any certifications? Are there any course in quotes that they should, what do you think they should know?
It's I wouldn't say there is a specific requirement, right? The major requirement is you deciding that this is what I want to do, right? I studied chemistry education. That's what I graduated with, and even before I studied that, I thought I was going to be an engineer. There was a point where I thought I was going to be a footballer, right? Yeah, yeah, I played football a lot. Yeah, and then there was a point I thought, okay, it's medicine. That's what my father wanted. That's what my father wanted. That's how I ended up with chemistry education, self. So
Okay, that was what your father wanted.
yeah, but
So when were you done with school?
when I was done with school, I think it wasn't until my final year that was when I realized that okay, this is where my talents are.
Yeah.
So my final year, I was like, okay, let me get this over with and focus on where I was going. And then I started looking into.
So the whole chemistry education is still.
I thought I was going to be a lecturer. I was going to follow it up like further education, but then I realized that there's life on the internet, right? Web design, explored web design, explored Android development. I even worked as
I just imagined you in the lecture room now, giving me lectures.
yeah. So
Okay.
like, but then when I wanted to really do content creation,
Yeah.
none of this came that okay because I studied chemistry education, this is what it's going to allow me to do. It was more of my other sister called me PP, like press. I was always pressing phones. So I said okay, I press phones a lot. Let's see what we can make out of it, right? And then because I had that knowledge, and then because I already had people that know that I had that knowledge, I felt like okay, I should be able to do it on the internet for others to benefit from that knowledge. So regardless of what your qualifications might be academically, as long as you know what you are trying to tell people about, and as long as the internet is there for you to research to know more, the only requirements you might have is, okay, I need a laptop that will be able to use to edit my videos, I need a phone to use to make my videos, and then you're good to go. Besides, there is really no, I think I'll put it like there's no challenge in getting started, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like school where I have to do it for a lecturer to mark. I can create a channel today and say, let me start, and I put 5 videos and I've said, oh, I'm not doing it again. Delete it and nobody's coming to score you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, delete it and go on and start.
And keep on. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Crawl if you have to crawl. Yeah. Walk if you have to walk. Just do something and get it there. Right. Okay. As a young guy that you are, a lot of the movement, this Japa movement, it's is a thing that is really ongoing worldwide because it's not just Nigeria, and seeing that you're a very young person, what's your thought around the Japa movement, right? So are you also planning to leave us in Nigeria? I don't want to say Japa now.
At the moment, no. People might find it surprising that he doesn't want to go out or that he's lying. Yeah, but I've had this opportunity like more than once. I think when I was in 300 level, I applied to go to Canada. That was the first attempt. Again, the admission, I didn't get the visa. And then the school was willing to like defer the admission for another year so that I apply again. But then I was like, no, let me finish what I'm doing and then let's see. And then I had uncles who are in Canada and they're always pressuring my dad. Your children should leave Nigeria.
A lot of things. They are wasting
leave Nigeria. And then I kind of, maybe I don't like doing things because most people are saying do it. So I kind of want to be able to prove that, or even if I'm not there, I should be able to like succeed. right? I think my uncle normally say there's no rich man in your family. Or go to Canada so that there's no rich man in the lineage, right? So you
So
have
that
to
you
leave
can be rich.
you have to leave
You
this
should go to
country
Canada.
to
Oh wow.
and so
That's
but then
great.
I want to prove that you don't have to be there
Please
to
prove it.
so like I want to make enough money so that I go and pay them a visit
Yes.
and come back.
Don't worry, we are behind you. We are beside you. We are
So
there.
but am I ruling out leaving the country entirely? No, the country is not getting easier, right? It might get to that
that's
point
true.
where it frustrates you to the point that I have to leave. But as of the moment, I am not at that point yet.
Okay, so this is encouraging. That must be mean that you see a lot of potentials, a lot of things that can still be done in Nigeria and be able to achieve your goals. Um, I know that in Nigeria there are quite a number of things that we suffer, lack of a proper infrastructure, um, no equal rights, quite a number of things. There are quite a number of things, but it gladdens my heart to see that you still have hope. Because I've had to talk to quite a number of youths, and it's before you even say the jackpot, they have their what's it called, their documents submitted already. So you are just there asking them questions. Okay, so it's so good, but just shed more light to the things that you feel that can still be done in Nigeria. The hope. I want to give hope to some people who are already frustrated.
Okay, so not to take anything away from people that are trying to get out to make lives better, right? Yeah, you can make lives better for them. It's just my own opinion that, okay, I don't want to go somewhere where I have to start all over again. I have my uncle who went there, and we are speaking recently, and he was saying it's good that you are doing stuff for yourself. Don't be like us that left everything and went over, start again, and we've not even gotten to the point we need to get to in life. So for some, like, you can do it early, do it, it's okay. But then I think there are a lot of opportunities in this country. There are companies that are still probably trying to tap into this market because of our population. You just have to look for those opportunities and see how you can take advantage of them. If you feel like there is nothing, feel free to seek that's something outside. But yeah, there's already opportunity in content creation. I think COVID brought out a lot of content creators, right? Sit in your home and do your thing, tell people about. People saw that I would be able to, like teachers, they were complaining, oh, my salary is small. And then there were teachers that saw that, oh, there's internet, let me teach people on the internet. And they start making more money from the internet than they are making from their salaries, right? So you just need to sit down and look. It's not easy finding what you want to do. Some people don't find out what they want to do until like it just hits them. Some people, they never find out what they want to do. Some of us, we are lucky enough to get to a point in life and say, okay, this is where my strengths are. I am sure that if I follow this through, even if success doesn't come now, it will come eventually, and try to follow it through. So there are still opportunities in different areas. You just have to find new ways to ensure that you reach those opportunities. If you hit a roadblock, go around it. Go take a few steps back if you have to. Just try.
Jump if you have to.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, that's really encouraging. Okay. So let's look at what is the next thing that we should watch. What's like the next step for you now?
Okay, so for me now, right, I started off like as someone who is talking about smartphones. I'm trying now to not just talk about smartphones, right? Any tech I find interesting that I can get my hands on that is not beyond my capacity financially, I try to get my hands on, do more diverse tech. If you notice, in December, I talked about an electric bike. There have been times I've talked about gaming devices.
So you are diversifying.
Yeah, like talk about more diverse tech. So it's not just about, I think Instagram, if you notice, I think up until 2022, I was not popular on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just YouTube. And maybe if not for Instagram, probably you would not even have noticed until you were probably searching to buy a phone. So I came on Instagram with other creators like, okay, let's put some short videos out there. And we started teaching people how to use their smartphones better. Yeah, so more of things like that. More of like, okay, even if you don't have the most expensive phones, this is what you can do with the current phones you have. And then try and get into make tech more interesting, not just something too serious. Make it more interesting for the common person that just scrolls across your content to see and like hearing about it, even if they are not really, there are people that come to watch your content and like, oh, it's not as if I can afford this thing, but I just like the way you talk about it and I want to know more about it.
So, what's your take about artificial intelligence taking over almost the things that we do,
You can call me
our
one.
workspace?
You can call me one of the late adopters, right? I'm just. It's to me. It's just there. Let it just be there. Let it continue to be just there. All right. I've not found myself in a position where I feel like I need to embrace it just yet. So let it. It took me a while before I even opened ChatGPT. I think so probably maybe in December last year, someone was like, use ChatGPT to do this, and I like went to check it out. So artificial intelligence is interesting. It is going to be doing a lot of things. It's going to. I think well, there's one that I've relied on sometimes. Like I'm recording audio and I found out that it didn't record correctly or something was wrong, noise too much. Then there's this adult podcast that helps me treat the audio as if I did it professionally. Those kind of artificial intelligence, they are helpful. Generative AI, but then there's also the possibility of generative AI being used in the wrong hands, used terribly. Right. Yeah. So like it doesn't bother me yet. I don't feel like AI is going to take over just yet, but I feel like it's not something people should be scared of too, right? If you feel like there's AI that's coming to take a particular aspect of what you do, then adapt, learn to. AI will not work on its own. It has to be given commands to do the things it needs to do, right? Learn the skills that will allow you control it. So when people are looking for, I have an AI that can do this, but I need somebody that will be able to train this AI for me, you're already there because instead of thinking that the AI is taking your job, you are learning how to adapt the AI into your workflow and all. So artificial intelligence is fine. There's no running away from it. Yeah. Everybody's adopting it. So eventually it's going to be right there in your face. But just don't stay away from it for too long. But you don't also have to rush into it like me. Let it just be there.
Yeah, it's important that you get adapted to it, majorly because of the trend. Yeah. For instance, I think the metaverse is something. Yeah. It's changing the algorithm. Yes. Quite a number of things that are being changed, and even I am speaking from the certification aspect now. There are quite a number of skills that are coming up in the artificial intelligence space, and there are quite a number of job roles. Yeah. From what we could see, we had quite a number of job roles that have now been integrated into artificial intelligence. So if you're able to, get yourself more informed, you stand a chance to also be relevant. Yes. And don't be obsolete. And like I was saying, it baffled me to see that there was a particular job role that says, I think AI analyzing AI something analysts for investors or thereabouts, right? I can't remember the way the job role was actually spelled out. But then, this just brings to my consciousness that it's important that we begin to get ourselves exposed and in line with the new, with the artificial intelligence and everything that it has to offer us. Yeah. So that's it.
Just look at these AI tools, know each AI tools and what they can do, and you'll probably be someone that people will consult when they need an AI tool for something.
Yeah. Okay, so before I let you go, I'd just like to have your general advice, and maybe you could talk a bit on the future of technology and things general, anything you feel you just want to mention before we call it at the end of the episode.
And like I mentioned before, right, if you are looking to go into content creation, don't feel like there is something massive that you have to acquire first. Look at what you have with immediately by you start, right? Okay, I mentioned that we have to buy devices and all, but then if maybe just me, you, and maybe two other people that are people that I know, and I said I wanted to start making content about smartphones, I'm not going to be looking to make content about the latest smartphones because phones are now expensive. I'll look to make content, tell people about my phone. There are people that are using my phone, right? Tell people about it. They will watch it. Ask for your own, borrow it for a day, or if you ask, tell people about your own. By the time I use the tech around me, with time I can start exploring other tech, right? As long as I'm able to start. You can make content creation also out of probably anything. There are people that are influencers today, celebrities today, because they put their camera in front of them and started dancing.
Yeah.
And there are others that, oh, they can sing, but because they are not popular, they don't know people, they can't get record labels. But because of TikTok, they can sing and put it on TikTok, and everybody will see it, and before you know, they are famous.
Yeah.
And so,
The power of technology.
yeah, so it could be anything that you are very. It could be. I think I was advising someone recently, and like, oh, he said he's into wash cars. How will he make content creation out of it? And I said, go on YouTube. Maybe one of the most viewed videos is like how to drink water, how to tie a tie. Like,
How to drink water.
yeah, go check it. It's like millions and millions of views,
I'm
right?
telling
Who
you.
doesn't know how to drink water? But why are people watching it? So like, you could be someone washing a
I
car,
think
and
I need to watch how to drink water, seriously. Because my husband actually tells me I don't tend to drink water well. Like when I'm holding the bottle, if says I need to hold it in a particular way. So I need to learn.
so now for someone that washes cars, right? You know they have this pressure hose that you can just take your phone and film you using the pressure hose to get dirt out of the tires of the car, and just put that few seconds on it, and they are put that gain satisfaction from watching just that. And before you know it, you're a
As in, we have
content
a lot
creator.
of people in this world.
Yeah. Before you know it, you're a content
Billions
creator.
of people.
Even tech creators now, when you see some of us do unboxing, ASMR unboxing, we're not saying anything, we're just opening the box. People gain satisfaction from watching things like that. So you just take a look around you, oh, I can put this on the internet. Experiment. If you don't like it, if people don't accept it, well, take it out. It's not there, it can't be there permanently.
Yeah. This just resonates that we should always find within yourself, find the capacity, find what you can do within yourself. Look for opportunities, and try the waters. Don't just give up. Don't just be discouraged. You never can tell which of them would actually work fine for you.
Also, it doesn't really have to be like, okay, I must be a content creator, right? In as much as, we have flight attendants that are influencers right now because, oh, they want to enter the flight, they put a phone and record and put on the internet. And like, in your pursuit of trying to acquire certain certifications, certain skills so that you can work in certain places, in as much as maybe you don't get that exact skill that you are looking for, there are small skills that you pick up on the way there.
Yeah.
You can sit back and, okay, what are these small skills that I picked up on the way? What can I do with them, right? I told you I went into web development. I went to 100. I never completed any course on any of those things. I'm doing video editing today because I'm a content creator. I took a course on video editing. I didn't watch past the first 2 videos. I just went on YouTube and I just started playing with the software. If I hit a roadblock, I go on Google, right? But in attempting to learn some of these things, web design, and there were small skills I picked up. And when I was, okay, let me look for a 9-to-5 job, it was these small skills that was able to get me a 9-to-5 job. There are people that
So
wanted
your first night, that reminds me, you never mentioned your 9 to 5 job. What was it?
my first 9-to-5 job, I worked as a software consultant for a company in Maryland, Ikeja.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think after that, I got a remote 9-to-5. And funny enough, I got that remote 9-to-5 because of my knowledge of HTML and some maybe WordPress content management system. So they needed me to be able to use another content management system, and I was able to learn to in a week. So imagine if I said, oh, because I'm not a web developer, I was not qualified for that. I was able to realize that, oh, the job requirement was just HTML, CSS, and content management. And that was the job that backs up my content creation, because that's where I was seeing money to buy gadgets.
I wanted to ask you, because you couldn't have gone to meet Mama to say, Mama, I want to start digital content creator, and she was just wondering, what is that? What are you saying?
So you have to start doing it, and then you see that, oh, it's making sense before you start getting support.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you so much, Izzy Boye. I'm sure you've really taken time to put us through all the hassle that comprises of Izzy Boye, things that we need to know about you, and we are so glad. I'm sure our viewers actually had found this and would find this very interesting. So to our viewers out there, I want to believe that this episode has been so interesting. If you find this very interesting and insightful, kindly like, share, and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.